Okay, so hello and welcome. Thanks for sharing your time with me tonight or today, wherever you may be. As this is something that's close to my heart and something that I'm very excited and passionate about. So, what we're going to speak about is the new economic evolution of the world, and we're going to discuss what it is, how does it work, and most importantly, what's in it for me. Okay, so before we get started, a quick compliance disclaimer. So we are not registered brokers or advisors. We are not selling, nor are we licensed to sell shares. We do not give financial advice. Only general information is given and should be noted. Please do your own due diligence or seek confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor. All business opportunities come with risk. Please be responsible for your own results and actions. And what we offer is an opportunity to participate in our wealth creation education. Okay, so with that out of the way, my name is Stephen Gagie. I'm a father first and foremost. I'm a top manager with our company here, and I've been involved for around 3.5 years now. So I've seen it come quite a long way, and the evolution has been absolutely amazing. I'm a member of our Asia Pacific Leadership Council. I'm a private investor, both inside and outside of what we're going to speak about here. And in my previous life, I was a business owner and a diesel mechanic. So here's a couple of pictures. I spent many years working up in the mines in North Queensland. I went up there with the dollar symbol in my eyes. And yeah, I did make some good money up there. But I also spent a lot of time away from home. I was sleeping in dongas, missing out on my kids' school events, sporting events, friends and family's birthdays, barbecues. And it didn't take me real long to realize that this wasn't the life that I wanted to live. And it also made me realize the importance of time. Once time's gone, it's lost forever. So that's where my journey really began, on educating myself on finding ways to increase my income so as I didn't have to work in the mines anymore, but I also didn't want to decrease the level of my lifestyle. So along that journey, I came across Neew and what we're going to speak about tonight. And since then, I've been implementing the strategies taught since. And I can proudly say now that I no longer work in the mines and I am able to work from home, and I'm able to enjoy watching my kids grow up. I'm able to take them to school, pick them up, and be there for all those school and sporting events. So that's a quick background about me. And I think we can all agree that we're going through a huge period of change. Especially this year, we have cost of living going up and up and up. Household debt is at all-time levels. Inflation is rising. Robots are taking more and more jobs. Automation is creeping in across many different sectors. The mining industry is not immune. It's not coming, it's already here, it's happening. The pizza delivery man, he's not even safe. We have robots starting to deliver pizzas. HSBC moved $20 billion from paper to blockchain, one of the largest transactions ever. We have our banking industry trying to, and governments passing these bail-in laws, which basically gives them access to our money in times of need. And then we also have a cash ban here in Australia where they're trying to make it illegal to spend over $10,000 cash in one transaction. So they're literally forcing us to leave our money in the banks. And then what has happened with our banks? They have not only been accused, but also convicted of fraud. And just to top it off this year, if that wasn't bad enough, we've had a global shutdown, COVID-19. So where this is all heading, I honestly don't know myself. But we're not here tonight to focus on the problems. We want to focus on the solutions, because global problems require global solutions. And with what we have here tonight, I believe we can address these issues. So a quick bit of history about how we got to where we are today. This is our CEO, Andre Havrato. Now, he's a self-made multi-millionaire, and he's basically been investing in many different markets and many different sectors and businesses since he was in his teens. I've been lucky enough to meet him on several occasions now and been in some closed meetings and conversations with him, and he really is a brilliant mind to listen to. He's the founder of the New Economic Evolution of the World and the Innovative Transport Project that we'll speak about tonight. He's the financial and investment business coach, and he was on the TV show Millionaire for a Year. He's a master of dream realization and the creator of the Academy of Private Investor. So what is the Academy of Private Investor? Well, it was established in 2010. And what Andre did is he put all his years of experience and training into a series of courses. Now, these courses centered around financial literacy and education. Now, Andre's goal is he wants to help create 1 million millionaires. Now, I think that's a pretty fantastic goal to have. He's trained over 100,000 students, have been through the Academy of Private Investor since its conception. And this is the basis of our new education today, which we'll discuss a little bit more as the presentation goes on. So if we now fast forward to 2014, and this innovative transport system was actually our very first project. So in 2014, how this came about, one of Andre's students from his Academy of Private Investor came to him with this idea that he'd seen of this transport system. And Andre had a criteria when he assessed businesses, and this actually ticked all the boxes for his criteria. So it was actually a concept since 1978, but for various reasons, it had struggled to get off the ground and gain the necessary funding without giving away control. So since 2014 until today, we were able to help raise over $150 million for this project. So today now we've seen it go from an idea to certification, and now going forward, it's going from a certification actually into commercial implementation. So it's really, really exciting. There's over 150 patents registered globally, and it had an independent valuation once commercialized of around $400 billion. And the best part of this, I believe, is it's allowed everyday people to be co-owners of businesses and companies that they're going to use. That's a fantastic idea. So what we really want to achieve is we want to address this unfair global wealth distribution that we see at the moment. We've all heard the figures. 95% of the world's wealth is with 5% of the population. Hugely unfair. And a lot of this goes to previously, there's only really been one way to get money. If a company or a business need to raise capital for whatever reason, they only can usually go to these banking cartels or venture capitalists or other financial institutions, and they're always in debt to them. And if they're always in debt to them, that's how these 5%, that's how they maintain control, because they're actually generating all the money. They're able to control us because we're always in debt to them. But there is actually a second way now. We can financially support people and businesses through crowd investing and give people the opportunity to become partners and or co-owners of businesses that they use. So literally, instead of the profits going back to this small percentage of the population, we can redistribute it amongst everyone, and we can start to address this unfair wealth distribution that we see at the moment. So our company is based on 3 pillars: education, co-ownership, and business. So the first one we're going to discuss now is around education. So when I talk about education, I'm talking about wealth creation through financial education. Now, we've probably all seen this cash flow quadrant before. Yes, this was from Robert Kiyosaki, and he's probably been at the forefront of financial education for the best part of the last 20 years. And he was one of the first people to openly come out and criticize the broken school education system and financial system. And he also posed the question, is your house an asset? So I won't spend too much time on this, but I'll just quickly run through this cash flow quadrant. E stands for employee. So what this means, you have a job. And unfortunately, this quadrant is where you pay the most amount of taxes. And this is where the governments and the education system push you. At school, we're taught, you know, get good grades, go to high school, get good grades, perhaps go to university, study hard, secure a job. That's what we're taught. I always ask the question, how come any 18, 19-year-old, they have no problems racking up $50,000, $100,000 HEX debt. But if they try and get a $10,000 business loan, it's nearly impossible. The second quadrant underneath that is self-employed. Basically what this means is you own a job. I fell into this category myself, and yeah, I did make a little bit more money, but I also had no sick days, no holidays. I was still exchanging my time for money. So what we want to do is get away from exchanging time for money and get over onto this other side of the quadrant. So a business owner is anyone with an organization of 500 people or more. So what you have here is you actually own a system. You have people working for your money. So you could take an extended time away. We're talking 6 months, 12 months away from your business, and its performance is not affected. It continues on as normal. But what we really want to do is we want to get down to this bottom quadrant here, the I one. This is an investor. And this is where you have your money working for you. Your monthly expenses are covered, whether you decide to get out of bed, whether you decide to work, no matter what you decide to do, your expenses are covered. And that is what we want to get to. That's what financial freedom is all about. And as the great Warren Buffett says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So what we sell is education packages. You can study online at your own pace, and we have a range of courses and topics. And what you receive with our financial education is the Academy of Private Investor content. What I spoke about previously, all that content is in here. We have videos and webinars, printed material, PDFs, understanding of investment principles, and the 8 rules of a private investor. This is something we always come back to when we're making decisions around finances. We have understanding of risks and diversification, portfolio building, additional sources of income, and heaps more. So once you purchase an education package, your bonus gift is access to our CryptoUnit program. So our CryptoUnit program is backed by our global portfolio, which contains real bricks and mortar assets. So this brings me on to the second pillar that we have now, which is co-ownership. So this slide here represents how our business model is set up. So this is us up here in the top left-hand corner, the private person, an everyday person. Now, previously to what we're doing here tonight, to invest in a global portfolio or companies in these early startup phases, it wasn't available to the everyday person. It was only available to these companies or these institutional investors, or sometimes called accredited investors. And then if we look over here onto the right, the money would flow through and then only come back to that small percentage of the population. That's how they maintained their grip and their power through keeping us small everyday people away. But what we have here and what we've created here, as the money flows through the assets that we have, instead of going to just those two different companies and institutional investors, it actually flows back to the private person, everyday people. So we all get to benefit. So what UG Pay Group is, this is one of our umbrella companies. It's registered in Switzerland and it's responsible for taking our token onto the public market. And it's recently got the necessary approvals from the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States. So our CryptoUnit program was launched on the 31st of the 3rd, 2019. So we started with $12 million. And since then, we've actually had, the slide says $62 million here, but it actually needs updating. We've now had $77.6 million has been invested into our global portfolio. Now that value of that portfolio today is now at over $477 million. So that's incredible growth there. It really is amazing. So this is actually a screenshot from our website of our UG Pay group. And if you look up the top there, you can see the SEC tab where you can go on to follow that through, and you can see all the documentation and paperwork for our applications with the Securities and Exchange Commission. We also have our white paper there where you can actually read through everything. We have our tokenomics in there also, so everything's transparent, and it's all there for everyone to research and go and look at. Now, you might have heard me refer a few times to tokens, and some of you may not quite understand what we're talking about. So I'm just going to do a quick comparison here between them. So when we say IPO, I'm talking about initial public offering. This is what we're talking about. These have been around for a long time. When a company wants to list on the stock market, they go through an IPO. Now, what an ICO is initial coin offering. So when I'm talking about a coin, I'm talking about your cryptocurrencies, your Bitcoin, your Litecoin, that space there. But what we've put together, what we're involved in, we've basically taken the best parts out of an IPO, we've taken the best parts out of the ICO, and we've created what is called a security token. An STO is a security token offering. So let's have a little bit more of a look at these. So an IPO, initial public offering. So an IPO, it's under strict government regulations. It's a very time consuming to go through. It can also be very costly. You have underwriter fees, legal fees, and you've got to give up a lot of control of your company. You have to bring in a third party really to run the IPO. And most of the time, it is only for those institutional or qualified investors that we spoke about before, leaving everyday people out of the mix. So initial coin offering, an ICO, as I said before, this is around your cryptocurrency market. The biggest thing with this, with an ICO, is it's completely unregulated. So what that means is I can go and create the Steven coin tomorrow. I can write a bit of a white paper up and put it out to the market saying, I want to raise $5 million. I can get to $4 million and for whatever reason decide that this is not going to work or I don't want to do it anymore. And I can actually walk away with that $4 million and there's basically no repercussions against me. So 80% of the coins in this market have either failed or are a scam. So if you don't know what you're doing, it's a highly risky market to be in. You don't receive any shares in any company. And a coin, it's completely idea backed. So it's prone to dump and pump. You get some big people that can come in and really pump the price of the coin up, and then your everyday investors come in and buy because it's going up, and then they dump the coins, price drops, and then they're able to buy them back, and the everyday people, they miss out. So it's a very volatile market, and as I said before, it's fairly risky if you don't know what you're doing. But what we have is a STO, which is a security token offering. Now, probably the biggest thing about this sector is it's actually regulated. As you saw before, we've been through Securities and Exchange. We've got the approvals to do that. So it's regulated, and that gives a lot of confidence to investors. It allows fractional ownership. So you can actually get a small ownership of something, which makes it more affordable. There's voting rights and transparent fundraising. So we have meetings, closed meetings once a month, so you can actually see how much money is coming in, where it's going, where it's been spent. So everything's completely transparent. It's a low volatility in this market, and that's because it's actually backed by assets, which means that they pay dividends. So our token is actually backed by our global portfolio. So once again, that gives a lot of confidence to people. So let's just have a little bit of a look now what's in this global portfolio of ours. So the first segment that we have is the venture capital segment. So this is made up of our innovative transport sector that I spoke about before. Our global portfolio is actually one of the largest shareholder in this. We also have basalt fiber technology. So I've been lucky enough to travel over and have a look at this transport system on several different occasions now, both in the UAE and in Minsk in Belarus. I was also lucky enough to do a factory tour over there as well. So here's the pictures. It's all real. It's all happening. It's really exciting. Second one I want to speak about in this sector is basalt fiber technology. So what is basalt? It's a volcanic rock. So 30% of the Earth's surface is made up of volcanic rock. So that means it's really environmentally friendly. A couple of the sectors you can see on the right here, many different sectors that can use it. Its principles are it has the same principles as carbon fiber, but it basically has the price of fiberglass. So if we have a look at the machinery, aircraft and car manufacturing, obviously being a mechanic, I know a little bit about this. If you imagine every plane, train, bus, automobile in the world, they basically could use our products for their panels. We've already had discussions with a couple of large companies around this. I also saw something on YouTube actually the other day. It was around the 3D printing, where they were actually trialing printing engine parts, internal engine parts out of basalt. So that one sector there is really exciting, what could come from that. The second one I just want to touch on is the construction sector. You think of all the concrete structures around the world that contain steel rebar, the steel reinforcement. Well, we could actually replace that with a product that is lighter, cheaper to manufacture, stronger, and the best part is it doesn't corrode. That concrete cancer that so many buildings get. Well, going forward, any concrete structure in the world potentially could use our products. So that is really, really exciting. This basalt technology industry, it's estimated to be about $1,000 trillion industry in the next 10 to 20 years. So I definitely would like to have a percentage of that. We also in the gold industry. We have several different gold mines, and we're in discussions also at the moment in Australia. We're also involved with gold trading, where we buy and sell and make a percentage profit on that along the way. In times of crisis or uncertainty, everyone always comes back to gold, and we're actually seeing that at the moment. So this is actually our largest sector. The banking sector, we have investment holdings as well as obviously our UGPay group. We will also have payment and transaction solutions going forward. So what we're doing here is literally creating our own banking system. So there's plenty more to come in this sector, so watch this space. Stock market, we have some big name stocks. This is always changing. We're in the US market, Russian market, and we've also recently entered the Indian and Australian markets. We've been involved in some IPOs and made some good money on those, and we also have some mutual funds as well. We hold several different cryptocurrencies, and we've also created our own blockchain. So for those that know a little bit about blockchains, our blockchain, one block can be validated in 0.5 of a second, and the transaction speed is around 10,000 per second. If we compare this to the Bitcoin blockchain, where one block takes around 10 minutes on it, and it can do around 4 to 5 transactions per second. So our blockchain is super, super, super fast. We're going to have no network commission fees. So we're literally going to have companies wanting to list their tokens and use our blockchain. So that's really, really exciting that this has been completed. We have equity in several different businesses. We have Sushi Master. And as the name suggests, it's a sushi franchise. We have a share in the parent company, and we also have our own stores that we own as well. We have Ugain. What Ugain is a global loyalty program. So we have 1.5 million users. We have 1.5 million people registered in our organization. So if you've got a product to sell, do you not think it would be beneficial to get in front of those people? 100% you would. And as a consumer, you're going to want to use this platform as well because, well, you're a co-owner of it. So you earn money. We earn money for using it. So there's a lot more to come here. This is going to be launched very soon. So it's really, really exciting. The third one we have here, this is Edu Cafe, Educational Cafe, which is our own branded franchise that we are launching. We've actually already just opened our first restaurant. So the Educational Cafe, there'll be areas where people can hold small meetings and get-togethers. There will be the option of sushi, Asian, pizza, and burger joints. There'll be also the option for small food trucks, so people can enter into the franchise on a smaller budget, and we right up to cafes and larger restaurants. So imagine being the business owner and earning money from your restaurant, but you're also a co-owner of the parent company where you earn again. I actually don't know of anywhere else where this has happened. So a lot happening in this sector at the moment. Culture, we're in the film industry. This is some pictures here of Dragon Man. We saw him in India last year. He's an Asian superhero. It's been directed at the Chinese market. My question was, why the Chinese market? And a pretty simple answer I got back was there's 1.4 billion people there. So I thought, yeah, that's a pretty good answer. We're also aiming next at Bollywood. So between those two markets, we've literally got half the population. There's always also a TV series in the pipeline, and there'll be plenty more movies to come. Real estate, we're in that sector. We have land in Phuket, Thailand. Here's some pictures of some of the villas and some of the apartments that are planned for over there. And we also have land in Krasnodar on the Black Sea. Here's a picture of the hotel that has been drawn up for over there. This will possibly all be a timeshare as well. Gemstones. I hadn't previously heard much about this before, but this is around synthetic diamond production, where we can actually produce our own diamonds. So we can use this in the mining industry, diamond head drill bits, and a lot of tools use that technology. We can also produce perfectly shaped diamonds to many different sizes, many different colors, and we can then sell that to jewelry manufacturers, or we could potentially produce our own jewelry line as well. We'll probably do all of this. And we also have digital doubles. and data mining. This has just recently kicked off, and this actually blows my mind. This is really, really exciting. So instead of mining the earth, we can mine data. We can then use that data to help set up sales campaigns to other large companies. And of course, we can earn a profit along the way. And what a digital double is, it's your own 24/7 virtual PA that can be trained to do all of your social network interacting. So anyone that works in sales in any industry around the world is literally going to be jumping over themselves to get one of these. Really, really exciting. The potential here is huge. So that's just a bit of a snapshot of what's in our portfolio. And the third pillar I want to speak about is business. So by participating in the education, you get access to the portfolio. That's what everyone gets excited about. But with the business side of it, this is where you can actually choose your level of participation. So what we use is multi-level crowd investing. It's a new phrase that's been coined, and I just want to compare this quickly to what many people would see as multi-level marketing. So in a traditional MLM type scenario, the only way you're really making money is you need to either recruit people or you have a product you need to sell. Now, regardless of how well the company's doing, the company can be going gangbusters. If you're not recruiting people or selling your product, you're not making money because you don't own the company. Whereas what we have, we are co-owners of our own company. So whether you choose to take part in this completely or not at all, you're still making money because you're a co-owner of what we have. So that's really, really powerful. Everyone makes money in this. So if you need extra income, you can use our referral system to generate commissions and bonus tokens. Now, you might decide to just share it just with a few family or friends, which is totally all right. Or you may want to fast track your income and create a full-time income today. That money you earn, you can go shopping with it or spend that money. It's earned instantly. Or you may decide to use some of the education that we teach and reinvest and compound your money, earning more tokens and creating a passive income and financial freedom for yourself and your family. So it's very easy to get started. It's actually free to sign up. This is your back office. There's education tabs, portfolio, partner tools, news. It's all in there. So I just always like to come back and speak about the goose that lays the golden egg. And I liken this a lot to what our security token is. Our security token pays us, it will pay us a dividend every month. And if you're getting paid every month, why would you want to get rid of it? It's like the goose, and the saying goes, don't kill off the goose while it's always laying those golden eggs. And that's what our security token's like. So if no one's selling, no one's getting rid of our security token, what's that going to do to the price? It's going to continue to rise, and it's going to keep compounding. As the price goes up, more and more people are going to want them. So now is the time to act. We're about to go public. Things are really going to ramp up over the next 3 months. So take action now. That's all I can say. So a quick recap on what we have to offer. You get the opportunity to become an educated and a professional investor. You can grow your own business and have unlimited earning potential if you choose. You create a set of passive income streams for yourself. And you can create a new portfolio for a secure future. That's really key, that secure future. You can help others achieve their dreams and leave a legacy. I'd love to think back that my children or my grandchildren would look back at me and realize that I helped create all this that they're enjoying the fruits of now. That's what leaving a legacy is about. And most importantly, you can do what you love and follow your passions. That's what allows. Without passion in your life, things can be pretty dark. So thank you for your time tonight, everyone. I just want to leave you with this one thought. If you do the same thing over and over, you get the same result. If you want a different results, you need to sometimes do something different. And if it sounds like you, well, maybe now is the time for you to come along and join us. So thank you and good night.